Okay, you're going to have to forgive me for having to do a voiceover. My idiot self didn't have the right settings on the camera. It's a new camera, and we're still trying to figure it out. So this is the head form that we got from David Mosher FX, um, and this is the one that warped on me after my second mold. As you can see there, I've put some wet clay there on the left side of the cheek, and that was because it deformed really badly behind the eye. It was sunk in at least about 3/4 of an inch to an inch at the most deepest place. Um, I had to put in some clay on the right side of the face as well, and but it wasn't near as big of an indention. And my plan is to take Alan Hops's way of doing the silicone caulk mold, make a mold of it with the clay in place to kind of fix those indentions, and then cast another one with hydrocal or ultracal. What I've got right now is hydrocal. So there it is. There's the fix, if you will. It's still indented a little bit, but it's a lot better than what it was. If you were to make a mold on just that thing right now, it would not come off. It would lock itself to it. So right here we are looking at, yeah, I think I was talking about the mason jars there. I like to use glass. I don't know why. The glass jars seem to do a little bit better of a job for me. And what I have is I have white silicone and clear silicone. That's all I could find in the shelves at the time. And so here I'm demonstrating how I seal up my caulk. I use two nails and push them all the way down like that, and I've not really had a problem, doing it that way. So got a little bit of naphtha in there. I do a little bit of naphtha at once, and then I shake it. Then I pour in some more. There's my shaking. Yeah, I might try to add some music in here to kind of make this a little bit better. I I made this video a couple of weeks ago actually, and I gave up working on it when I realized the audio was off. So here we go. Looks like I finally got that mixed up a little bit. I'm mixing it up with a stick to see how thin it is. This is actually quite difficult to watch a video you made 2 weeks ago or close to 2 weeks ago and not have a script planned or prepared. I still had my beard. Look at that. I need to grow my beard back out. Okay, what am I doing? Getting my brush out. Looks like I'm ready here. Okay, so typically you want to do a thin beauty coat like everybody else does. I mean, everybody knows this. The what I can tell you here is I have you'll see the distance up there by the back side of the head form. That's because I have a small ball of clay on the head form to kind of keep it in place as I do this mold. And so that's the reason why it's sticking up a little bit. There wasn't a problem. The only problem I did have is I forgot to put a mold release on the head form. And this is silicone caulk. This stuff is made to stick to things. This is not like the two-part silicone that you use for molds. It will stick. Please use some form of mold release. Looks like I sped up the video here. There's not a whole lot for me to go over. You all have seen this before. I can tell you that what I do recommend is I do recommend more than 5 or 6 coats and more than one coat with fabric in it. One layer of fabric. I would probably do 2 to 3 layers of fabric, but honestly I only need to rectify my problem because my head form here deformed, and for me making a prosthetics and stuff where I need to mold with the clay as the sculpt and the mold going to directly make contact with the head form to kind of get that prosthetic sculpt out of it. I can't risk doing that again and further deforming my head form. And David Mosher, we discussed this a couple of times, and though I initially contacted him without the intention of him making it right, without trying to spread any bad things or anything, it's just every time that I felt like, every time I talked to him, it seemed like that he was trying to turn the blame around and put it on me. And there's nothing that I've done to have caused it to do that. He recommended a hydrocal, and I used hydrocal twice, and my head form warped. So since he won't make it right with me or help me get a different head mold, I'm making a mold of it so I can actually get my $60 worth of the product. As you see there, I've got my mold, my mother mold already done. I did one layer with fabric. I did about 5 layers total, I think. And what you're looking at there is the head form there has got the silicone mold on it still. I pulled the clay, you see me pull the clay out of that mother mold, and what that was, there were still some undercut areas where I was kind of afraid that the mother mold would not come off very easily. So I put a little bit of clay there in the jawline area to help keep that from locking itself to it. There's that little ball of clay that I put on there that you see. You can see the bottom of that head form. Yeah, that's where I'm talking about there. That was all flat before I used the head form. And after using the head form, it completely, looks like my video stopped. After using the head form twice, that foam, it concaved itself. So I don't know what's at fault here. I'm going to probably chalk it up to just being bad materials that it was made with. I had no heat gun. It did not sit on didn't use a heat gun on it. It didn't sit on a stove. It didn't sit outside 108-degree weather. It done this on 2 molds. So looks like I'm at 7 minutes here. I'm going to try to wrap this up. I don't have any other pictures. I might throw some pictures on here since I'm talking past the video. And basically, this video is purely to show you how I rectified my problem with the head form deforming